Winter's not looking good, is it, guys? Bloody hell! I don't know how people are going to get through this stuff the way it's going. 'Cause yeah, I mean, like Boris announced all those restrictions last night. We kind of knew were coming. Among them, he's making all the mask rules a bit stricter, which it still means that you can say you're exempt and supermarkets aren't expected to enforce it and stuff. But obviously the fines are higher, and they're making supermarket, pub staff, restaurant staff, all those poor fuckers have to wear a mask to do their minimum wage jobs, or toiling around all day. I know loads of companies force them to anyway, but loads didn't, and now that's just going to make their lives a whole lot harder in an already hard year. So yeah, I feel sorry for people who are affected by this stuff even more than me. And of course they had the pub curfews, and a lot of people seem really pissed off about that. I guess I would be if I owned a pub and stuff, or if it's my birthday soon and I was planning out a bit of a night out or something. Yeah, that'd really suck. But yeah, so like all these rules, I get, they say that are justified because of the virus and stuff, it's coming back, and it's not, because it's like, I think I've mentioned it before, other people have mentioned it, but if you completely disregard individual freedom, human rights and stuff, and you even assume that all these lockdowns and stuff are going to work, which they're not, as we've seen. The first lockdown has, it's all come back and stuff, and it's looking like there's going to be another full-on lockdown now. There already has been in Israel, and pretty much in Spain and France, very much on the edge of one, and in the coming weeks could be in the UK. But even if you assumed those lockdowns worked, just by a utilitarian analysis of people's lives saved versus people's lives lost, and I'm not even talking about like lives that aren't ruined, just like in purely people who die as a direct result of these restrictions. So yeah, they're saying tens of thousands of excess cancer deaths. That's already on par with the amount of coronavirus deaths, and not to mention that only 307 people died without severe underlying health conditions from this virus. But yeah, the 41,000 number, we'll go with that anyway. Yeah, and then all this stuff that's coming already just from the first lockdown is going to far outweigh that. I mean, even mainstream media saying it's going to be about 100,000 deaths as a result of all that, partly from cancer, stroke, heart attacks. I know people who've died from heart attacks, and I don't know a lot of people. Well, yeah, I do, but anyway, like the fact that most people I know, they know someone else who's died, from cancer, stroke, heart attack, stuff like that. Suicide. I know people who know people who've killed themselves. There's going to be a lot more when these lockdowns come on. But anyway, what I'm trying to make is that all this stuff, it completely, all these other ways these people are dying as a direct result of the restrictions, completely outweighs probably many times the amount of people who've died already, and even the amount of people who are projected to die. 250,000, a number thrown around? Way more than, probably going to be about a million people who are going to die as a result of all these things that are going on, because Boris is saying that this is going to go on for 6 months at least. And I'm not really in the an optimistic frame of mind at the moment, so I can't see 6 months time we're all going to have a nice happy Easter. I can't see that. Christmas is fucked, New Year's fucked, Halloween's fucked, everything's fucked for the foreseeable fucking future. And this is going to be a winter of hell, guys. There's not much you can really do about it, because Tories have an 80-seat majority and stuff, and even the opposition parties, they're like sucking Boris's cock. They love all this lockdown stuff. They're only angry at him because it's like, you're not violating people's human rights enough. Lock people in their houses until God knows when. That's how all these people are thinking, all these MPs and stuff. And so it's important that if you haven't done so already, just contact your MP, email, letter, whatever, just be formal, polite or whatever, because else it probably won't get read. And I'm very cynical, it probably won't do anything when you get in contact, ask them, because there's a vote coming up for the Coronavirus Act. It's being renewed on the 30th of September, which basically gives Boris all this power to rule by decree. And so if that gets voted down, that would be great. So contact your MP and urge them to vote against this act, because what that will do, it's not going to end all this crappy lockdown stuff, and it's not going to stop it getting worse. But what it will do at least is give Parliament some influence, other than obviously the 6 monthly renewal, on the on what's going on all the restrictions and stuff. Because at the moment, Boris can, well, I guess after a consultation of his cabinet, maybe, although he calls the shots, he could just get up on stage and say whatever the fuck he wants, and it becomes de facto law. And that's got to stop, you know. It wasn't even justifiable back in March when, you know, thousands of people were dying a day or whatever. That's certainly not justifiable now. It is effectively a dictatorship. You can say, oh, we live in a free world, you know, you're being ungrateful and stuff. No, you're not. You don't live in a free world, not at the moment. There's not even parliamentary democracy, let alone, you know, there's no constitution or anything like that. Like, contacting your MP probably won't do much. You know, most MPs, you know, they're all self-interested and stuff. But there's a few good ones. I mean, I can't remember exact names, but you know, there's a few Tory MPs that already said, you know, they're going to rebel. They're going to try and get this voted down. But yeah, contact your MP. It probably won't do anything, but if it does, that's great. And if it, if it does all still go to shit anyway, well, at least you can say it wasn't your fault that, you know, you got to wear a mask in your home and shit, and all your friends have killed themselves and starved and died of cancer and stuff. You know, at least you should be able to say that it wasn't your fault, you did something. So yeah, please contact your local MP and try and, you know, tell them that you want to put an end to all this madness, because it is a war crime at this point. I'm not even exaggerating. It is democide. These are unbelievable times. I mean, you just sit back for a second, take a deep breath, and think about all the shit that's happened these past few months, and all the shit that looks like it's going to continue to happen. I mean, obviously you got Victoria, Australia, as an extreme example of it. Peru, you know, where they're super, almost like, you know, as strict as physically possible lockdown, didn't do shit. Worst, you know, deaths of any large country in the world. But anyway, yeah, you get my point. This is really, I'm genuinely terrified. You gotta stand up. You gotta say something. You gotta speak out, because that's about all, guys.